with RDF reports first. So first of all, let us get a clarity on the reports first. Okay, like what kind of reports we have, which technologies are used in the Oracle eBiz. Okay, all those things. So today is 18th. So reports. So if you remember, like we some time back we discussed about what is data, right? What is
Hmm.
information? What is
Hmm.
metadata, right? So it seems a theoretical kind of thing, but like a data is a raw fact. Generally, like as per the IT definition, when you say data, it's just a raw fact, nothing but a transaction. Raw facts we call it as nothing but transactions. So metadata is nothing but data about data, nothing but like
Hmm.
all underscore tables, all underscore objects. These set of particular objects we call it as metadata. Coming to information, information is nothing but processed data. Information is nothing but processed data. So the reporting technology or the reports which we use in any of the ERP application, the purpose of the report is to provide the information, provide the data in a processed manner, nothing but in a easy to digest manner. It's simply the difference is like what is the difference between a raw fruit and a juice?
Hmm.
Simple. So raw fruit is nothing but our data, and juice is nothing but by processed data.
Hmm.
That's the difference. So in general, like we have lot number of technologies in the market. For reports to design, we have lot number of technologies in the market, and it depends upon which particular application you are using and which particular application your client is using, which technology, which framework, which particular programming language. It all depends on the different number of parameters. As you are working in the Oracle e-business suite, our concentration is on the reporting technologies which are available in the e-business suite. So as per the Oracle e-business suite, we have two technologies. One is Oracle
Hmm.
report builder, we call it as nothing but RDF reports, and other one we have is Oracle XML publisher reporting technology, XML publisher reports. And generally we also call it as template builder or
Yes.
even the RTF reports,
Level. Yeah.
right? And this
Yes.
one actually, as we are working in the as our concentration on the e-business suite, the technology of XML publisher which is used in the Oracle e-business suite is called XML publisher only. But the latest version, generally the XML publish, the enhanced version of Oracle XML publisher is called OBIE, Oracle Business Intelligent
Okay.
Enterprise Edition. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll get into that. As of now, ignore this OBIE. Okay, so we
Hmm.
have two
Hmm.
reporting technologies, and there is another technology is called Discover Reports. So
Hmm.
this particular technology is very rarely used right now in the e-business suite. Okay, so we'll ignore this one, and our concentration is on the RDF reports as well as the XML publisher report. So what does the reporting contain? What is the purpose? If you understand the purpose, we'll understand why we design generally. Okay, so the purpose of the report is nothing but for the business. Now let us say like in any of the enterprise, you will have the employees in a hierarchical manner, designation, right? Like associate, lead, senior, vice president,
Yes.
president, like that. And each particular designation or each particular hierarchy will need the information in appropriate manner so that they can do their business in appropriate. They can allocate the budgets or they can validate what is how the business is going and all those things. So the purpose of this particular reportings, the purpose of a reports in a business is to monitor the business and for the purpose of growth, right? And there are number of parameters. So why
Yes.
does people do business? It's about it's about like livelihood, about the country, about the money, about the people, not lot number of things, right? So the purpose of reports in a particular ERP is to understand how the business is going on, and based on
Hmm.
that they can take a proper decision. They can be take, let us say if there is some parameter is wrong, or let us say like the efficiency of your production is unit is less than 70%, what is the action they have to take? Or let us say simple example is like every quarter any limited company has to provide the result, quarter results, right? So
Hmm.
how do they provide quarter results? They need the reporting technology. They have to understand what is the purchase order stuff and what is the sales order stuff, and based on that they will design the profit and loss accounts.
Yes.
Okay, simple thing is that reports are the purpose of the enterprise business users to validate how their business is going on. That is a major purpose.
Hmm.
And how do we
Okay.
design? How do we design? Using tools. Which tools? We have two tools. One is Oracle Report Builder tool as well as Oracle XML Publisher tool.
Yes.
Okay, using tools we design.
Yeah.
And who will design? Oracle technical consultants.
Yes.
Okay, and which particular programming language we require? Which programming language? So
Yes.
majority it is
ETL.
SQL and it is PL SQL also, and some proprietary kind of thing. Like if you consider RTF, you require XGO functions.
Yes.
Okay, etc.
Yeah. Etc. Yeah.
Okay, so let us start
Hmm.
with the like what are the contents of a report. Like when you want to design, let us start with the RDF report first. So in the RDF reports, what are the parts? I mean to say like what are the components? I mean like what are the components rather than parts? I'll say components. How many components we have in the RDF report? Like how do we start with it? Nothing but let us someone says you to design RDF report. First of all, you have to know what is a requirement, right?
Hmm.
You have to know requirement
Yes.
first. And once you know the requirement, how do we design? So how do we design? So first of all, we have to understand the technology. So as per the technology in the RDF reports, we have set of components like a data model and layout. Okay.
Yes.
So data model is all about the business logic. Nothing but from which table you are retrieving the data. Layout is nothing but the representation. How do you want to represent your data to the business user? And the other one is format. Nothing but whether you want the output in PDF format or text format or XML format or document format, lot number of formats, and it all depends upon the supporting of the appropriate technology, because all output formats may not be possible in a given reporting technology. It depends upon which one you are using. Okay,
Yes.
so clear. In any of the reporting technology you have three particular components. One is data model, layout, and the output format.
Hmm.
Okay, so now let us start with our this particular software. What is the software we use it? The software which we use for this one is called Oracle Report Builder. Is a software and which comes with which comes with a package called Oracle Developer Suite. In the Oracle
Yes.
Developer Suite, this particular software will be there. And again, it depends upon which ERP version you're working on. Right now, our ERP version is 12.13. Okay,
Yes. R12.
so then we have to use a 10G Oracle Developer Suite 10G. So using 10G, automatically Report Builder will also come with that. Okay, so
Yes.
once you install the software, the first thing you have to do is you need to provide the TNS entries in your software. I mean to say like
Yes.
once you install, hopefully not here. Okay, okay, here it got installed. Go to network folder, admin,
Admin.
TNS. Okay,
TNS file. Yeah.
so here make
Got
sure
it.
that you provide your TNS entries of your appropriate instance. So now our instance information is provided here. And the next thing is
Yes.
open your report builder. Okay,
Yeah.
so where is our report builder? It is not shown here. So let's go from here. Oracle Developer Suite. Yeah, report builder,
Yes.
report builder. Okay, and we have something called OC4J instance. These all things, but I'll tell you later about this. Okay, let us start with a very basic report today. So just click on the report builder. Now it gets open. Okay, so by default this is how it gets opened. And now here
Hmm.
just see the hierarchy. This hierarchy you have to have a very clear, this particular hierarchy you should have very much clarity on this one. Okay, if you understand this, it becomes very easy for you to debug in the future. I mean if at all, if you work in any of the project. The first
Okay.
thing it's showing called module 1, right? So nothing but
Hmm.
like any tool, whichever tool you use, it will have appropriate hierarchy. Now, if you work in JDeveloper, it will be a different hierarchy. If you are using SQL Developer tool, it will have different hierarchy. Now, this is a tool, right? This is not a programming
Ye-
language. Understand? This is not a programming language at all. This is one of the proprietary tool in which we have to design the component using appropriate programming language. So the first thing which is showing, the first top level hierarchy is reports. Under the reports, you have module 1. So generally, the module 1, whatever the module, generally will, let us say if you're trying to open the existing report, the module 1 will be shown as your report name. So what you do is whenever you create a new report, always save the report, and you'll find that the name of the module 1 will be your appropriate report name. And the next thing is data model and the layout. So leave about the web source as of now. So data model and layout, these are two things we have to concentrate now. Okay, so first thing what I prefer to do is we'll just save the report. Okay, so now by default when you open your report builder, automatically it will create a default report, but it is not yet saved. Okay, I'll just click on save. Okay, now I'll just go to our location. So I'll just xxif. So which module? Okay, we'll go with the INV report, inventory report. Okay,
Okay.
and make sure the extension as RT. What do you say? RDF. What is RDF?
Yeah, RDF.
What is the convention, or what is the full form of RDF?
It's report
Report definition
data
file.
file. Okay,
Okay,
report
these
definition
are
file.
binary
Okay.
content. These are binary content.
Yes.
Now what you do? Just save it. xxif underscore inv underscore report. Remember, whenever you do any programming or any simple thing, always go with a proper naming convention so that you will follow throughout your career. Okay.
Yes.
Now can you see the name got changed here?
Yes.
Instead of module 1, now it is showing this one, xxif underscore inv underscore report. Okay, and now
Yeah.
just select the top level one and press F4. Okay, now
Yeah.
can you see it shows a property inspector for each component. So generally when you open any standard report, you'll have something called comment section here. Just open this one. So you'll find out, like who designed, when it was designed, what are the bugs, what is the version of your report, all those things. Okay,
Okay.
so now anyway we will not go this one as of now, just ignore. Next thing is data model. So in the data model, what we have to do, we need to design our business logic. Just expand this one, right? Okay,
Yes.
it shows lot number of
Business.
components here. Now I'll just right click here and click on report editor.
Hmm.
Okay, on the data model, perform right click and click on report editor. Actually it has shown something called wizard, right? Report wizard. So
Yeah.
generally, like in most of the real-time scenarios, you will never use a wizard option, because every company will have their own kind of format. So the report wizard
Yeah.
doesn't, it is not that much advantage for us as of now. Okay, so better go with
Yes.
a manual approach always. And you'll have a
Oh.
clarity also when you do well, like let us say if you're designing some complex report, if you go with a wizard, simply it will not work. So better go with a
Yeah.
manual approach. Okay,
Yes.
now it shows lot number of things here, so just simply go with a SQL here,
Yeah.
SQL query. Now once you click on
Yes.
that, it changes the cursor to plus symbol, and on this plain area, perform mouse left click. So now it will ask you to provide the query, and here don't try to use the query builder and all those kind of things. Okay, so the best thing is, first of all, when you are designing the report, so we have to understand your requirement first, right? Until unless you know what is
Yes.
your requirement, how can you design a report, right? So first,
Yes.
after understanding your requirement, then design your query, because without query
Yes.
there is nothing, right? There is nothing in the report. Until unless your query is built, you can't design anything. What you do is always,
Yes.
if you get a requirement, first of all design your query. Don't try to design the file and everything, because there is nothing to design in the report as such. Until unless your query is
Yeah.
ready, there is nothing, right? So what we do is, first of all, our concentration is to design an INV report, right? Inventory report.
Yes.
So I'll try to design a very simple report which will display the first 100 items in my inventory. Select start from MTL system items B, and what I want to display is, I would like to display all the item information, nothing but item ID, item number, description, and as well as the organization code also. Okay. So as of now, don't worry about what is organization code, what is inventory, all those things. We'll have a clarity on that. Okay.
Hmm.
Query.sql. So MSI B, and now here MSIB dot inventory ID, MSIB dot segment one, and MSIB dot description. And now I'd like to go with the display the organization information also, organization underscore definitions OOD, where one is equal to one, and OOD dot organization ID is equal to msib dot organization ID. And you know why we use 1 is equal to 1?
Sorry.
Why do we use 1 is equal to 1?
Wow.
If
Yeah.
you see any standard query, you'll have this.
Yes, yes. 1 is equal to 1. Like for joining conditions.
For joining condition, that is correct, but why we use it? Actually, this was the first thing we should have discussed when we discussed our query stuff. I'll just ask you a very simple one. EMP, where 1 is equal to 0. What is the result of this?
It's like we will be using nowhere clause. It will be always be true, so all records will be returned.
In
I
line
think.
number 9, what is the result?
Wait a minute. 1 is equal to 0. It will not come anything.
So it means that it will not return any data.
1 is equal to 0. How?
What is the result of line number 9? Just tell me answer. What is the result of this query which is at line number 9?
1 is equal to 0. It won't record. It won't returns all records. Once run it.
If you run it anyway, you'll know result.
-1. Oh.
Okay. See,
I didn't work anytime back.
the basic thing is
Yeah.
1 is equal to 0 is correct or not? Generally, in the mathematical calculation,
Okay.
is 1 equal to 0 or
No.
not? It is false, right?
No.
Minus 11
Yes.
is minus 11 is equal to minus 11?
-11 is equal to -11. No, it's also false.
Minus 11 is equal to minus 11 or not?
Yeah, that is equal.
It's a correct, right? It's a logical is correct,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Mathematically is
Logical
correct.
correct.
Okay, other one.
Correct. Yeah.
Is 0 equal to 0 or not?
Yes.
Okay, understand the result now. Line
Hmm.
number 14, we have a where condition where the result is true,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And this particular columns are not present, are not part of our table, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Got it?
Oh.
It
Hmm.
displayed all the data. It displayed all the
Hmm.
data.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay, and now observe this one also. It displayed all the data, right?
Display all the data.
Right? Just
It
observe
doesn't
line number
display.
9.
Yeah.
No data, right? No data.
Yes.
Why? Because the condition what you mentioned is false. But on what basis
False.
it is filtering? That also we have to understand here. Because in the
Yes.
where condition we mentioned a particular condition, and what is happening is this condition is the condition which we mentioned, we are not using any column at all. But why it is not returning any data? It's nothing but your where condition itself is totally false. It could not apply any condition on your data. Where condition
Yes.
itself, whatever you have, simply false. That's it. So that's why I will not return any data. That is what it says.
Hmm.
Okay. So but
Yes. Yes.
what is the purpose? Like here, actually there is no need to mention, right? If you see in our query, why am I mentioning this where 1 is equal to 1? So it is first of all, like there is no advantage kind of thing. The only thing is, like just kind of, like a readability purpose we always mention.
Yes.
That's the only purpose. There is no other purpose at all.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other purpose
Okay.
at all. Just a readability purpose. Because like you can properly mention your condition. That's the only thing. You can properly mention your condition and your readability purpose. It will just look like appropriately. That's it. That is the only purpose. And
Yes.
it reminds that okay, we have to mention conditions. Generally, what happens is like when we design our queries, and sometimes like we do good amount of blunders, and
Yeah.
we don't even think that oh we have done that kind of mistake. That's how it will be in real time. We do a lot number of mistakes. We are just humans, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it just reminds that okay, boss, remember that you have to mention a condition. That's the only thing.
Yes.
This is your query now. Okay. Once your query
Yes.
is designed, as of now, we are not considering any parameters. Okay. Because this is our first report. I don't want to consider any parameters. Just a normal report. And also, I'll try to display some set of numbers like row number less than 101.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's take this. Copy. Go to your data model. Place your query here. And no semicolon.
Yes,
Once you
yes,
click
no
on
semicolon.
OK, what will happen? Just observe. Now it will
Connect the
validate.
database.
It will validate your query. Sorry, yeah, it will validate your query by connecting to a appropriate instance. Now, one more important thing is to work in the
Hmm.
RDF reports. Is it required to use only apps instance, or it will work with any of the Oracle database instance?
It depends on instance.
You understood my question or not?
Yeah, I got it. As you're asking
Uh-huh.
to work in a report builder, we need an apps connection or
Uh-huh.
else different connection. You're asking.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, apps connection only.
You mean to say that it will work only with apps database instance?
No, I work with another instance also. There I have entered another details also. It was working.
One important thing is in the Oracle e-business suite we have three layers, right?
Yeah,
Right? Front end, middle tier,
middle tier and
and database.
application
Database.
database.
Middle tier is nothing but your application tier.
Application tier.
Application.
Yeah.
Now
Yes,
in
yes.
it, so this database, and now you can your Oracle database can also be an independent instance, right?
Yes.
Without Oracle e-business suite application also your Oracle we can simply instant just database in our requirement, right? We can also just simply independently we can install our software database,
Yes.
right? Now what I'm saying is the report builder tool which you're using, will it work only with the database of Oracle e-business suite, or whether it will work with the Oracle database which is of independent software also? That is what my question is.
Second option. It depends on instance. Other than apps, also we can enter the details as per the require
Yeah,
instance.
yeah. So okay, understood. So
Yeah, yeah.
this particular tool will work with e-business suite database instance, and without also it will work. Okay, but it
Yes,
requires
yes.
any of the database, any of the Oracle database.
Yeah.
Just connect. And now can you see here it mentioned Q underscore one, right?
Hmm.
Q underscore one. And now it has so you have a query and then grouping. Can you see group? G underscore inventory
Yes.
ID. G underscore inventory ID. By default, it will mention the whatever the first column you mention, that becomes your G underscore followed by your column name. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then the columns. Can you see here? Here it is showing 789 and the remaining it shows A. So wherever you have A, it means that it's a character. Wherever you have numbers, it will show 789.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And if it is a date,
Okay.
it will show some different column name, I guess. Let me see
Yes.
that.
Creation date.
Okay. Can you see day for date? It is showing a different thing,
Calendar. Yeah.
calendar kind of thing. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
And just observe the columns here. This stuff. This is our data model. Okay.
Yes.
Save.
Yes.
Now next thing is go to layout. So the third one is layout, paper layout. Okay. So in the layout, generally, like when you see any report, you will have a header part and the middle data part and the footer. Header, middle part, and footer. Okay.
Yes.
So now what we do is the best thing is first of all so in this you have this set of graphical components: frame, repeating frame, fields, and boilerplate. So this is called boilerplate. The free text is called boilerplate, and this is a frame which will bind the set of components. For what you do is just take a frame first and design a rectangular box like this. Okay, and in this rectangular box, select your this particular free text and just type your report name. This is nothing but our header section as of now. So
Hmm.
inventory, item, details, report. And now let us, if I'm trying to move my component, what is happening? Even the header part is also moving. Nothing but the frame is also moving, right? So what you
Yes.
do is here you have some options here. Confine off and flex off, right? So I'll just, after setting these two things to off, I'll select my inner component and I'll try to move that. Can you see? I can move it now independently. Okay. Now my header
Yeah.
part is done. Next, take the content. Now we want to display our output, right? So now here
Hmm.
we have to link our data model part with our UI part, right? We have to connect our data model designing logic to our front end part, UI part. So to connect that, I have to take a repeating frame. Why? Because whatever the query which you have used in data model, that should be connected to your UI. So that can be done only that can be done only using a repeating frame component. So I'll take a repeating frame component and now take this one, and here in the repeating frame, the only difference between frame and repeating frame is this arrow mark.
Yeah.
So select your repeating frame, press F4, and you need to mention the group, the source. In the repeating frame, you have a property called source, and here you have to mention the group name.
Yeah.
And yeah, so once you select the group name, you can design the fields inside that. So now I'll take the field. So field means always it will connect your it will be connected to the grouping component. What are the field which whenever you say whenever you mention field, it means that it's a dynamic component, it's not a static component.
Yes.
So that will be linked to the group which we select in our repeating frame. So
Yes.
I'll take 4 components. Okay, now field 1 F4, I'll just say F underscore item ID and select your source, inventory item ID. Now select field F underscore item number segment 1. Now
Yes.
what is the other one? Description.
It's a description. This. Oh yeah.
Last one is organization code.
Yeah.
F underscore org underscore code. Okay.
Yes.
Now one more thing is we have these columns for the business user. They have to understand, right? What is the column header also you require. So for this,
Yeah.
take take the frame, take the frame and take the boilerplates again. Free text, 4 free
Yeah.
text.
Free.
Item ID, item number.
Item description.
R code. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So our UI part is done, layout part is done, and there is no provision as of now to mention what is the output you want. Okay.
Yes.
So what you do, just click on compile program,
Control
compile
Shift
all.
Control K.
Okay. Now got compile.
Yeah.
Next thing is run program, run paper layout.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Simple. Done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Now here if you observe, the columns and the column names as well as our column, the page header is not displaying the other pages, right? It was getting displayed only the first page. Can you see?
Yes.
So what you do, go to your layout and select your frame, this particular one, press F4, and there is an option that whether you want to display in first page or in all the pages. Print object on all
All
pages.
pages.
That's it.
Yes.
And the same way for the next one also select that,
Yes.
all pages.
Yes. Now it will be displayed after running.
Now Control Shift R.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Every
Done.
page it is getting displayed, and you can
Yes.
play around with the like what you say, the font, the sizes, and the borders,
Yes.
colors, and all those things. So I will ignore as of now that particular part. What you do is,
Hmm.
as of now, we just design the report. Now where it got
Hmm.
saved. So this was saved here, right?
Yes. The
This was
desktop.
saved here, and the compilation part as well as the runtime part is same here. Whatever we design,
Yes.
which is a binary, and when you compile also, it will not generate any other file. What are the component which you have
Yes.
internally? It will like it will have its own set of way of maintaining that. Okay, whether it got compiled or not. That's it. So
Yes.
like unlike our Java, like you don't have .java and .class differently here. In the RDF, everything is single. Okay.
Yes.
The source and compiled part are single. Now what is the next step? So for a business user to run the report, he cannot take your RDF and run the report, right? Now let us, if you want to
Yes.
see how the layout looks like, now I want to see the output, right? Before registering the report, I want to see how the output, how it looks like. What you can do is click on file and
Hmm.
generate to file, and you can select all these particular formats: PDF, RTF, text, and all these things. I'll go with the PDF first.
Hmm.
Save your report, and it will generate the PDF output, right? It generated. Now
Yes.
open this. Yeah, this is how it will get displayed to the business user.
Yes.
Okay. And the
Okay.
important thing is now for the business user, you cannot say that, okay, install the tool, take this particular RDF file and connect to the database and run the report, right? So for the business user,
Yes.
he doesn't bother about the RDF, what you say, like what is the technology you're using or what is the tool they have to install. Their requirement is to run the report from the e-business suite. Okay. To run
Yes.
this particular to run this RDF report from e-business suite, let us see what are the steps involved. Now the next step is running the report from Oracle e-business suite. Designing of RDF is done,
Yes.
right? Designing of report is done
Yes.
now. Now the thing is, you need to register the report. We call it as registration process. How do you register?
Yeah.
Registration process of RDF report. Okay, this particular registration process seems very tedious, but that is how we have to live with because that's how the technology is.
Hmm.
Okay, so but becomes
Hmm.
very it becomes very easy once you practice well. That's it. And in this particular
Yeah, I know
process,
that.
there are a lot number of steps. The first thing is concurrent program, concurrent executable. Next thing is concurrent program. Another one is data
Yes.
model. Sorry, report group.
No, no. Report group.
Okay, concurrent executable,
Yeah.
concurrent program, and reporting group.
Reporting tools. That is
Okay.
responsibility. Yes.
Another
Yes.
one is first of all you have to copy the file, right? You have to copy the RDF file to application
Local.
manager.
Yeah. That is
Binary
from local machine to the server.
Yes. So these are four steps. That's it.
Yes.
Now let us see that. So one more thing is like when you are registering a particular report, we have to know that under which particular location. Nothing but like if you remember, we have something called Apple top, right? Do you know what is Apple top means?
Yeah. Application top.
It's application top, right? So what you do is before
Yes. Yes.
let us understand this one again. I'll open my WinSAP, and if you're connecting for the first time, create a connection for your Oracle ERP instance. Now in my case, this is a connection. So I'll just click on login. It will connect to my server. And here
Hmm.
I have to know which particular location I have to migrate. One more important thing is in a single Unix box, you can have n number of ERP instances working on. What is instance? What do you mean by instance?
Instance.
Yeah.
So, local server.
Instance means your runtime application, runtime environment, runtime execution, right?
And
Now, what I'm saying is, let us say you have a
hmm.
Unix box. When I say Unix box,
Hmm.
nothing but your Unix server. So in a single
Yes.
Unix box, I can run, or simple example is okay. Let us take your desktop application, desktop system. In desktop
Hmm.
system, can I install multiple multiple Oracle DB instances or not? Oracle DB instances?
Yes.
You can write, you can do that, right? Nothing but like you have in 1521, I will run one instance. In 1600, I will run another instance, right?
Yes.
Right? The same way, what I'm
Yes.
saying is,
Yes.
in the same way,
Hmm.
in a particular
Hmm.
Unix box, you can maintain multiple ERP instances.
Okay.
So in our case, like we have single Unix box in which development instance will be there, testing instance also will be there, and UAT is also there.
What is UAT?
User acceptance testing.
Okay.
That's a final testing before production.
Yes.
And some
Okay.
developers call it as some clients they call it as like pre-prod
Okay.
before
Pre
production,
prod.
pre-prod. It depends upon the
Yeah.
naming convention, how they just name it.
Okay.
Some call CPI, different namings will be there. Leave it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, yeah. Okay. When we are designing any custom component, right? Now the component which we design is a custom report, right?
Yes.
So when we're designing any custom component, the preference is always that you have to move your report to your custom top, not the seeded top. So what is custom top and
Okay.
seeded top?
Custom top which we created by the DBA and serial top which has been given by the Oracle like
Yeah.
PO or
Yeah. Hmm. So what is this all tops all about? Tops all about? What do you mean by top, first of all?
module based on modules PO module.
Yeah, correct. So in Oracle
So,
ERP, what exactly we have is set of modules, nothing but set of
yes,
applications. Set of application.
yes,
So each application will have a top location. Each application will have a top location, underscore top location,
yes.
nothing but PO underscore GL underscore top like that. Okay.
AR, yeah,
So
was.
in any real-time environment, every application they will have a custom top, and the naming convention can be different. And generally, it starts with XX. So XX TCS underscore top, XX BI underscore top, XX BOL underscore top, something like that. Now,
Yes.
in our training instance, I don't have any underscore top location for my custom module. As of now, there is no custom module which got created. So for practice
Okay.
purpose, what I prefer to do is I prefer to use FND top. Okay, which is
Application top library.
yeah, which is linked to application object library responsibility, application object library module.
Module. Okay.
Okay, this is what I try to
Yeah.
use it. Okay, clear?
Hmm.
So now
Yes,
where
yes.
how do I know the location of that? So just open your putty if you're not aware. Apple Manager, sorry, echo fnd underscore top. It will give you the location. Copy this location.
Again, put in the
Yeah,
NSCP.
that's it. And open reports folder and US.
US.
Okay. Yeah. First, let us move the file. Binary mode.
It's a binary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got moved. Now open the
Yeah.
application developer. Now to register the report, you require to have application developer responsibility. Okay. Without that, we cannot do it.
Yes.
Application developer, concurrent, executable, and program. Okay. Click on executable.
Okay.
Now here there are some set of mandatory parameters. Wherever you see yellow color field, it's a mandatory. So we have 5 parameters which are mandatory. Now where did we move our report? To which particular location? FND top.
Application. Yeah.
It belongs to application object library module. Mention that application
Yes.
object library. Now what is
Yes.
the file name of our RDF report? So this is our file name.
Yeah.
Without file extension, copy the file name.
File. Yes.
And remaining there are two parts. One is executable name as well as short name. So as
Yeah.
of now, not to have any confusion, better mention the same name here. We'll discuss later what is executable and short name, all those things. Okay. As of now,
Hmm.
better don't have any, like it becomes very difficult to remember all those things. In general, real time also what we do is we'll not have any different names for executable and short name. To remember very
Okay.
easily, we just mention the same name there. We'll understand what is the
Yes.
purpose later, but as of now, just mention the same name across.
Okay.
Control S, save it. Now if you see here, there are few things which you can edit it later, but there are few things which you cannot edit at all. Short name and
Hmm.
application you cannot edit at all. Remaining you can edit it, but short name and application you cannot edit it at all. So in general, in the
Yes.
Oracle ERP instance, across you cannot change the short name. Even the application, what you say, concurrent program also short name you cannot edit it. That's the reason
Yes.
it's a non-editable stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this is our name. Close this one. Go to concurrent again. Concurrent program, and now here we have to mention what is your executable name. Our executable name is this one, right?
Yes. We
And
got
what is
it.
and what is the output you want? We'd like to have PDF as of now. And what is the style?
Yes.
Style is nothing but what is the
A4.
output. Yeah, so generally in real-time requirement you may have a different requirement. You may have A1, you may have A4 or A2, A5, tablet, lot number of formats you have it. Okay.
Landscapes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tablet, landscape, all those things.
Okay.
Yeah, so now, and
Hmm.
what is the short name? I'll go with the same name here again. And here you have to mention the application name same again. Okay.
Hmm.
Description, it's not mandatory, I can ignore. And here what are the program name which you mentioned should be user understandable name. Okay. Unlike
Hmm.
unlike the programmer friendly, it should be user understandable name. Generally, like a will be provided by your client. Item details report. That's it.
Hmm.
So now as of
Okay.
now we don't have any parameters, so we'll ignore the parameter section.
Okay.
Okay. Save it. And now as of now we just finished three steps. One is copying the file to server. Next is concurrent
Yes.
executable. Other one is concurrent program. And the first step, when you copy the file will be available in our application tile. And the remaining two steps,
Yes.
concurrent executable and concurrent program, whatever the transaction we have done will get saved in database, right?
Yes.
Right? And now if you like, you
Yes,
can
yes.
observe this one. Record history.
Yeah, FND concurrent program VL.
Yeah.
On that time, it has been saved.
Yes. VL VL is not a database table. VL is a
Yeah,
video link. Okay. The base table is this
VL.
one. The base table is this one. FND concurrent programs.
Yeah.
Okay. And you will have a concurrent program name. This is our short name. Just mention that you have to get a record. Wait,
Where
concurrent.
program name.
Okay. Now here, this
Yeah.
concurrent program, the FND concurrent program will not have all the information. Nothing but your concurrent program name will not be there here. If you want to observe that, it will
Hmm.
be available here.
In TL.
Yeah. Okay. Mm,
Here we will be not having program TL.
yeah, it is there. It is a user
That's
concurrent
not.
program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here, no. The other thing is there's some other column here. Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. I understand now. There is. Do you see any ID? Concurrent program ID. This is how they are linked.
Yeah.
Application ID is nothing but your FND.
Yes. FND one.
This is how they're linked. And if you're having, if your Oracle ERP instance, if your Oracle e-business suite is installed with multiple languages, you'll have multiple records here. In our case, our instance is having only one language got installed. That's the reason I could see only one particular record. Yeah, one more important
Yes.
thing you have to understand is whenever you're using TL, always mention the language as a condition. If you don't mention the language as a condition, you'll get multiple records.
Okay.
Whenever, if you let us say for Dubai client, you by default US will be there for any ERP instance. By default, US is
Oh,
there, and based on a client specific region, then you will get one more extra record. So that's the reason what you have to do is always validate whether they want the output in English language or their specific language. So in my client, I have
okay.
around different, like we have a Chinese, Mexico, and US.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to use a different language based on the client requirement.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
that's how it is. Yeah, and the
How
same
we have
way,
to pass the condition as a language then? And
if you want to see, either it depends again whether you want to hard code, you can hard code. Or let us say if you
well,
want to pass it runtime, you have to pass it. FND underscore, you have something called a profile, FND underscore profile dot value, some language you can mention, I guess.
no, other than US, you take it, no?
That's what I was telling you, right? In my instance,
Hmm.
only English was
Okay. Okay.
installed.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
Yeah. So you try in your instance, you'll get it. In your instance, what you do
Uh,
is validate TL table and
yeah.
find out whether you have multiple records or not.
Okay. Well, let's see today.
Okay. Yeah. So in the same way, you can try for the FND concurrent executable also. And one more
Okay.
important thing is always remember your FND tables. Don't like ignore these tables. This is very much important for you to validate your components when you are working with a support instance. Concurrent underscore executables. Okay, executable I think, right? Okay, let us validate from here then.
Why is it not coming that one?
FND executable. It's FND executable.
Executable.
So in some set of things, Oracle doesn't follow the naming convention. That's where the problem is. FND executables. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is our executable name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the next
Executable
thing
ID.
is, yeah, so we have done this one, and then one more
Hmm.
important thing is like three steps we have done. The next step is request group. Request group means nothing but in the real time scenario for the business user, he will have the appropriate set of responsibilities. He will not have all the responsibilities.
Okay.
Let us say if you're from the PO department, if your level is associate, you will not have the supervisor responsibility. Let us say if I am a supervisor, I will have a supervisor responsibility.
Okay.
Nothing but approval authority, I can say.
Yes.
Right? It all depends upon the business user designation, and based on that you'll have the appropriate responsibilities. Now whenever we design a report, it all depends upon from which responsibility you want to run the report. Until unless you assign your report to a particular responsibility, you cannot run it. So the linkage between a responsibility and the report is done through request group. For each particular responsibility, you'll have a request group.
Okay.
For each particular responsibility, you'll have a request group.
Yes.
Now let us say if I want to run the report from the inventory responsibility, what I have to do? I want to run my item report from the inventory responsibility.
Yes.
I have to find out the request group of this inventory responsibility.
Inventory. Yes.
Okay. So let us find out that.
Yes.
So inventory as of now, can you see what is the responsibility name? Inventory, just inventory. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I will do is I'll go to system administrator, and also whenever you want to assign the report to the request group, you require system admin responsibility.
Yes.
And in some set of clients, what they do is they don't want to give system administrator to the developers. They'll create their own instance and they'll allocate they'll create their own responsibility and they'll assign what are the things which you require. That also they do it.
Okay.
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 Now in our case, find out the responsibility name, security responsibility and define. Find out the responsibility name, find out the request group name. Sorry.
Yes.
What happened? 1 minute.
Yeah.
It got stuck. Okay. Inventory. Yeah, good. Can you see request group? There's no request group.
How?
Right? There's no request group but assigned. So you cannot run the report from the inventory responsibility. So it could be someone has deleted it or it is not there. Either way it could be, right? So what I do is I'll try to find out whether I have a request group for this inventory or not. Just search for that. If we don't find, what we can do is we can create our own request group.
Okay.
Let us search. Okay, can you see that INV?
INV reports bills of materials is there.
Okay, maybe it is not there, or maybe
Deleted.
somebody modified the name or something, right? It could be anything. Okay, so
Okay.
what we can do is either we can use the existing request group or we can create our own request group also. Okay, what I do is I prefer to create a new request group now.
Okay.
So very simple. So in the responsibility, go to request, right? Now I'll just say request group name, inventory reports,
Request.
inventory, and here this request group with this application name should be, what this application should be? It can be anything
Inventory
actually.
only.
It can be anything. Okay.
Acha.
Still it will work, right? Still it works. Still it will work.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'll just mention my report name. That's it. Save it. Sorry.
Item report. Yeah. It has
Save.
been saved.
Now this is my group name. Go to responsibility again. Okay. Now mention that. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, we have to attach. Yes.
Yeah, we have to attach. Yeah. Now go to inventory responsibility. Now we can run the report from there. Submit new request XX. Run the report. Right.
Yes.
Whenever you run the report, automatically it will generate a request ID. Based on that, you can identify what is the output and what is the input for that. Refresh view output.
Got it. Output. We'll be getting the output as a PDF.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
There is some issue with the font. That's the reason it is displaying in some different language. Okay. Generally, this will not happen in the real instance, but in our demo instance, it is happening. So the solution for that one is actually, select all the things here and select courier. Okay.
Yeah.
Control Shift K, copy, compile, save it, and after compilation also you have to save it. Yeah, transfer in binary mode.
Yeah. Same, yeah. Now you have to run the report.
Yeah.
Copy. Yeah, we will be waiting the output.
Perfect. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this, and the same way, we can explore with what we do is like in the next particular concept, what we do is we'll try to work on. First thing is, how do we pass the parameter? Independent parameters first, okay?
Okay.
And then parameter which are dependent also,
Okay.
okay? And then
Hmm.
using global temporary table approach.
Okay.
And later on we have some set of concepts, we'll discuss that.
I have one little doubt regarding one value set.
Hmm.
Based on the, I have told you already, earlier, but I am trying, I'm not getting, but because I'm not familiar with the value sets. Like once go to the program request, concurrent program, submit the program, will be going there, right?
Hmm.
Submit new request once. Okay. Here, second option is coming, operating unit.
Yes, that comes by default.
No, yeah, by default. But we have to set, right?
Yeah, for a given responsibility, you have to set your operating unit. If
I
you
want
see,
this one.
1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
If you just see, let us go with purchasing. Just go to purchasing. Now just
Okay.
try to run any report. You'll see that.
Okay.
Can you see?
Uh, Only vision is coming. I want my own operating unit. I want. How we
Okay.
have to? You have to create any value sets.
Okay. Not. It's not about value set. Do you know MOIC?
Multi org application access control.
So multi-org access control is nothing but as per Oracle RTL. So from a
Hmm.
given for a given responsibility, you can assign multiple operating units.
Okay.
So now, if you want the list, if you want to assign multiple operating units to a particular responsibility, you need to
Mm-hmm.
set like there are some MO profiles, MO percentile. You just find out MO percentile default operating unit, MO percentile, like operating unit list. So there are multiple profiles. There are multiple
Mm-hmm.
profiles which are assigned to a particular responsibility. Okay. So then
Okay.
once you assign the operating units to profile for this responsibility, you can see the list. Now if you observe here, why it is showing only vision operation, because now what is my responsibility name? Purchasing super user, right? So go to system
Yes.
administrator, and here click on profile, click on system, and now what is my responsibility name? It is purchasing super user.
Super user.
And what is the profile
Okay.
name? So if you don't remember the profile name, just search with MO percentile. Just see here,
Okay.
see the list. And now what is MO operating unit? Responsibility level, I assigned only vision operations. Responsibility
Okay.
level, I assign vision operation. That is the reason it is showing only vision operations when I run the report.
Okay.
But some clients may require multiple operating units also. They want to assign multiple operating units also. In that scenario, what they do is they will assign a security profile. So what is the security profile is all about is, for a given particular operating unit, if you want to assign multiple organization, then you need to create your custom security profile and assign that. So that particular profile will
Okay.
have multiple values. So generally,
Custom.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Continue. Custom security profile.
Yes, you have to create custom security profile. Then only you can assign multiple operating units. By default, you can assign only one operating unit. But if you want multiple
Hmm.
operating units, then you have to assign security profile.
Okay. Then how we are going to create this one?
You can create security profile from the general ledger. This one, like HRMS responsibility. That one, global HRMS super user. Not security. Here, there is some setup. You have to do it. Security profile. So
Okay.
from here, you need to create a security profile. So in the security profile, you have to mention what is your security profile name, and you have to assign what are the organization you want to assign under that particular security profile, like XXIF, security APF, and you need to mention your
Okay.
business group also. So generally, in our case, it is vision operations.
Business group like vision operation. Other it can be.
It can be anything, boss.
Or
It
what's
all it all
okay,
depends
okay.
upon your
Okay.
instance.
Yeah, I got it. Got it. Okay.
Hmm.
After that,
After that, you need to mention
hmm.
we will restrict to individual assignment allow general register. Include use the organization on the assignment. So after that, basically already 1 minute.
Mm.
So once you define the profile,
Hmm.
1 minute. Okay, search now. Press Control F11 to execute. It has to actually mention. It has to allow to specify.
Hmm.
It has to allow us to specify which organization you want to consider under that particular security profile. Okay, what happened?
Hmm.
Or maybe let us search the existing one. Then you can easily understand. Okay, can you see this one? ABC MOIC.
Yeah.
So now what this particular security profile they have done is for this security profile they have assigned multiple operating units. They have assigned multiple
Ye-
operating units. Now what we do is this
Yes.
security profile name you will take it, and for the MO security profile you will assign this profile name. So
Okay.
and you are assigning the security profile for a given responsibility, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then what happens is that responsibility, using that responsibility, you can access multiple operating unit values.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the logic.
Okay. Once we have been added, one if you are running the in my report is in custom top. Okay.
Hmm.
My
Okay.
report, the RDF or XML report,
Hmm.
is in custom top.
Hmm.
And once if you have been added the security profile,
Hmm.
when we are running the program, that will be listed the purchase like so and so operating unit in that.
See, first of all, registration process of your report is independent of how do you run it. Okay. Let us say
Yeah.
if you run it,
Okay.
let us say you have registered a report and now you have moved your report in the FND top, custom top. So
Custom top only.
registration process is totally different from your responsibility specific security profiles. So once you move the report to a custom top, the next step is from which request group you want to run it. Nothing but responsibility. From which responsibility request group you want to run your report. Now the next thing you have to
Hmm.
understand is like you're asking about invoice, nothing but for a given responsibility, by default, each
Hmm.
responsibility should be assigned. I mean to say, like as per the setup, each responsibility should be assigned to a should be assigned to a operating unit. If you want,
Okay.
so now this list, some particular client requires that like from a given responsibility, for a given responsibility they want to assign only one operating unit. Some clients they say that no, we want to go with the MOIC approach. They want to allow multiple operating units. It all depends on the requirement. If you want to run the report
Okay.
for single operating unit, you can only just you need to set default operating unit. This should be enough for a single operating unit. If you want
Okay.
to allow multiple operating units from a given responsibility, then you require MO security profile. So if you go with MO security profile, you can assign multiple operating units for a given responsibility, and your report will work for multiple operating units.
Okay.
And here
I'll try.
one more important thing is if you
Mm-hmm.
observe one simple example, there is a difference between PO headers as well as PO headers all.
Okay.
And if you run PO headers all, it will give the data of all the operating units.
Yes. So next time.
It will give the data of all operating units. PO headers all. Now if you try to run the report, run this particular query, select start from PO headers. As of now, I hope it will not give any data. It will not give any data. Okay.
Yeah.
It will give the data only when you enable your apps initialization. Until unless you
Okay.
until unless you perform apps initialization, it will not work. This all about row level security, RLS. There's a concept
Okay.
called RLS,
Good.
row level security. What happens is once you enable your apps initialization for a particular operating unit, the PO headers by default will show the data of only that specific organization. That's the reason you should never use underscore all tables in your queries. You should never use underscore all tables at all until unless it all depends on the client, different scenarios. Generally, we don't prefer to use underscore all.
Okay. I'll try today with MOAC. I'll try to do that if
Yeah,
I find
generally,
any issues.
one more important thing is
Mm-hmm.
MOAC you have to understand, but generally the setup is done by the functional consultant.
Functional.
Then we should
Yeah, I'll talk to them also.
we are least bothered about the setup. They have to do the setup actually.
I'll talk to them and I'll try to do why, because I have created one purchase order report query, and I have been build a XML report.
Huh?
Like based on operating unit, I want the dependent PO numbers. If I'm selecting Godrej as an operating unit as a Godrej,
Hmm.
on that particular operating unit, list of PO numbers should be displayed by
Okay.
default. Once I click the that's the requirement.
So that operating unit you want to consider by default, or you want to allow the user to select the operating unit also?
It's I have to select both
User.
by
Okay.
default, and one requirement is by default, another requirement is user has to select.
Okay. See, there are two scenarios here. So one basic thing is if you want the operating unit by default, so just search for your
Hmm.
fnd profile dot value dot org ID. So by default, it will give you the current organization ID in a given responsibility. So from there you'll get the default one.
FND profile, right?
You got it or not?
Yeah, I didn't get once. Could you tell me once again?
There are standard profiles. Okay, before that, let me show
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
I'll go to purchasing, right? And here,
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
okay, doesn't need to open anything. Okay, just click on help, diagnostics, examine, and in the block, select profiles. Third one, can you see dollar profiles?
Yeah, dollar profile dollars.
And here, select org ID. Can you see what is org ID?
Okay.
204.
204.
Okay, just search this.
Select start from where already. No. Okay. Okay.
Okay, it is organization ID. Sorry.
Yeah, organization ID will be there.
What is the organization ID? Vision operations. This is my operating unit.
Yes.
So now what I'm saying is, for a given responsibility, as per the setup, every responsibility should have a operating unit which should get assigned. Now in your report,
Yeah.
what you have to do is you just need to design a particular value set where not
Hmm.
even it doesn't even require a value set. What is a simple thing is you can do is just default value. You have something called default value, right? When you design a report,
Okay. ठहरो हो गया.
now here in this parameter, you'll define parameter your something called sorry not the default type, sorry. Of course, you have to mention a value set though. Sorry, you have to mention any seeded value set, or you can just take any standard one. And default
Okay.
value, just select profile, right?
Okay. Okay.
That's it. Something like
Okay.
this you have to mention fnd underscore profile dot value or something.
Okay.
You like to mention that this way. That's it. This is enough.
Okay.
This is for the default value purpose. And if you want to display multiple operating units, then you just need to design a table value set. Table
Yeah.
value set. Select start from HR operating units.
Okay. Show me.
You need to define table value set.
I think you're getting later. Tomorrow we'll do.
Yeah, sure.
Tomorrow we'll do that one. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Taking along.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
I'll
Bye.
try. First, I'll try today. If I'm not getting, I'll let you know.
Yeah, no problem. You see, what you do is try to run any of the standard report. Observe that how it is
Hmm.
defined. You'll get more idea.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll see today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chalo. Bye.